And Taxman Sam, though, didn't switch back leads in the stretch, and
he's not pretty.
Kind of left the door
eye.
open for somebody that was pressing on him to get him late, and that somebody was Liam and Alex, the Fleet Alex, 5-year-old son.
I think that's the Taxman's last go-round with me. He 22'd it a couple of times in Cleveland. He did the splits differently, different run-up distance, I'm sure, on their routes, but still he was sizzling twice over there and carried on to victory last season. Tonight, 25. 25, it's his race to lose, and lose it he does as he stays left leading. Lehman Alex stomps right on by. Lehman Alex with an improved performance here. Usually a long shot stable. Winners in London, but this one pays cheap. They weren't looking for a price, so they don't couple him up with somebody else, Lehman Alex. I think he ran better without that first burst taken out of him. He tried for the lead last time, unwisely so. And tonight just kind of rated back, yeah. Made his move up the inside and then angled out just a little bit. If we had a first call winner so far tonight, I don't think so, but that's from only 4 dirt races. And your 6-horse from the Schilling stable was pretty much speed on the hard full-out chase.
Yeah, right out there
way.
pressing.
Anyway, and it's easy to see why the 5-horse backed up there. I wouldn't attribute that necessarily to anti-speed grain, although we've had issues with speed being off the mark here for the last several weeks, but just from the action late from Taxman Sam, you really couldn't chalk that up to some kind of a bias or temporary trend. 1 mile for the 8th race. This is an allowance for accredited West Virginia breds, which have never won 3 races. Field of 6. And 7-5 fit. First taste of his homies, first time in restricted competition, is the 6-horse, Only I Know.
Won his first 2 lifetime starts.
And the word is still pointed for the West Virginia Derby should he finish up strongly and also get the W tonight, Only I Know. The big buzz about him, he dueled last start with a horse named Gatewood on suicide fractions, way in front of the field. And just to get a feel for just how strenuous those splits were, Gatewood came back to leave his field in his next start. So that's how fast they were rolling early there. Gatewood caused a lot of buzz in his own right when he came back to leave the field here last week. Wins by like 21 and was further than that in front at one point. So that certainly flatters Only I Know and tells you a lot about that speed duel. So when he moves into the States here and faces a softer pace scenario, not a base on balls.
Accredited West Virginia breds are parading now. For the 8th race, this is an allowance over 1 mile. Number 1 is Gracie's Tuition, owned and trained by Charles Walker, the rider Luciano Hernandez. Number 2, Spanish Affair, owned by O'Sullivan Farms, Augustine Braccio riding for trainer J. Michael Baird. Number 3, Traffic Manager, owned by Robert Hall, Deshaun Parker riding for trainer Ollie Figgins III. Number 4, Faithful Sinner, owned by Annette McCoy, Rex Stokes riding for trainer Brent Angel. Number 5 is Carter's Pride, owned by Shirley Ray, Brian Hollingsworth riding for trainer Jerry Ray. And number 6 is At Only I Know Horse, owned by Flying G Racing and Deborah Rhombus, Andrew Ramjeet riding for trainer Deborah Rhombus. Win, play, show, trifecta, factor, 50-cent superfecta, late double wagering, post time in 6 minutes.
All the fanfare this horse has received has not escaped the attention of our world-class caller, Peter Berry. Number 6, Only I Know. I never bought into the hype even a little bit about this horse. What I see is a horse that trounced maidens, came back to use a speed bias, to work hard and beat a short field in ever 2s. Now he does show, I think, some propensity to run 2 turns when denied the lead, and on the receiving end of a bumpy voyage May the 25th, and then last time what may pan out to be a legendary speed battle with a horse who came back to leave the field. First time with state breds, I'll give him a shot. I'm not that high on the horse. But I'll give him a shot here.
The state restriction should help him considerably versus the company that he's kept in last couple at the route distances. But the question is the distance I'm
Well, through it all,
thinking here.
I think the horse is fast, running out of excuses because he's only beaten 5 opponents in 4 tries versus one. A terrific trainer who's having a career season, but you can't make the runner something he's not.
Addition here is probably the 3-horse traffic manager coming up from Charlestown for Figgins. They're adding blinkers to him. He was right there pressing the pace going a mile and a 16th in April. He started back. That was a norm-restricted race, no less, too. A 2 other than norm-restricted. And then last time.
That was his finest hour, right, on April the 29th?
I think it was.
And they sent him sidelines after that, so maybe he needs it on June the 18th. Blinkers on. I hope that doesn't signal an aggressive ride because he's going to be better to sit back here, right, and hope for a hot pace.
He's got local Parker up, so he's going to know what to do, I'd have to think.
Figgins has never made a whole lot of noise up here from Charlestown. He's a good trainer, and he's got the artillery to win races here, but hasn't won a whole lot over the years, I got to say. Carter's Pride. Carter's Pride won an allowance outside the program there on August the 20th. Beat a poorish field according to my formulator notes. And a whole mile is uncharted territory for him. Did prep and a very competitive wide open 3-lifer. Beckham is still unbeaten. For the bona fide super trainer, Doug Cowens, I mean, he is really a super trainer. Awfully Sinister had won twice by wide margins since the claim. That was a strong, and to just set him up to do that.
Yeah, that's a question with him, too.
He's run poorly in the program a few times, too, Carter's Pride, so it's not like there's some mistake about what happens the first time he faces his own kind.
What about Gracie's Tuition from the One Post? Off since last September. It's got some bullet works. It's going to be part of the Speed Brigade, I think, right out there with Honey, I know.
Yeah, he found his game. His front-running route horse. He's got a good turn of foot. He's fresh for this. And they've got to attempt to use the One Post. Now, he's no Gatewood, but he can make the 6-horse work hard to get the lead, which could prove only I know's undoing. Gracie's Tuition wins big, both turf and dirt, so he's useful. Really wonder, though, if Charlie Walker has got the horse so fit that he wants a mile first time, or might have preferred a 6 for a long prep.
You know what, though? Because so many people waited on these West Virginia bred, they're almost like turf races, right? They want to make them count.
You got to go with what's in the book, because we're trying to accommodate a lot of class levels and a lot of distances, and we only have 1 a day in the condition book. We can't write them as extras. Just 1 a day in the condition book. Spanish Affair, just 1 for 30. Unconventional dirt. Could bust some kind of a move here. He always does. I just don't see him as a mile horse, though. I bet Mike Baird would have loved a number 3 allowance for the state breds at about 7/8 on the grass.
Faithful Sooners only 9-1. Ren Angel.
I don't get that. He's 4th to another deep closer on May 25th, so they were playing his song up front.
1 minute.
Wow, another 3 horses 4-5, so skepticism abounds about the hyped horse pointed for the West Virginia Derby, number 6 Only I Know, who just flashed 3-1. Just went up to 3-1.